Why do they come back after hurting you? It's a question that echoes quietly in the hearts of many. You've tried to move forward. You've made peace with the silence. You've grown from the pain. And just when the world begins to feel still again, there they are. The ones who caused the storm. Suddenly back. As if nothing ever happened. Why now? What do they want? And most importantly, how do you protect the peace you worked so hard to earn? Welcome to Mindful Stoicism. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology behind why people return after hurting you, and how the principles of Stoic philosophy can help you meet that moment with strength, wisdom, and emotional clarity. Let's begin. It always starts quietly, a casual message. A "Hey, how have you been?" A subtle like on an old photo. It might look innocent on the surface, but underneath it is a complicated storm of emotions, for both you and them. You remember the pain, the distance, the sudden absence. You spent weeks, maybe months, trying to understand what went wrong, trying to untangle your emotions. And now, when you've finally started to rebuild, they walk back in. But here's the truth, their return often has little to do with you, and everything to do with their internal struggles. Understanding this is your first shield. One of the most powerful motivators behind someone's return is guilt. Guilt doesn't always show itself loudly. Sometimes it creeps in like a fog, slow, quiet, persistent. When they walked away, they may have felt justified, indifferent, or even relieved. They told themselves a story to feel better, that it was mutual, that you'd be fine, that you didn't care as much as you actually did. But time has a way of revealing the truth. When your presence is gone, really gone, something shifts. They begin to feel the absence in places they didn't expect. In the quiet of a morning routine. In an old memory that resurfaces unexpectedly. In the realization that the peace they thought they'd find in your absence never came. That's when guilt begins its whisper. They start to wonder, did I treat them fairly? Did I cause more pain than I realized? What kind of person does that? This guilt builds silently until it demands relief. And the quickest relief is often contact. Reaching out. Trying to restore the bridge they burned, not always because they want to cross it again, but because they want to feel like it's still there. But here's the Stoic perspective, their guilt is not your responsibility. Just because someone feels remorse does not mean they've changed. Guilt is a feeling, not a transformation. And your peace should never hinge on someone else's emotional discomfort. Forgiveness is yours to give, or not. But your emotional energy is yours to protect. Another potent reason they return is fear, not of losing love, but of losing access. They didn't expect you to grow without them. They didn't imagine a future where you'd flourish, laugh, build, and heal, all without needing them. And yet, here you are, whole, strong, moving forward. That terrifies them. The fear of becoming irrelevant in your life, the fear that you're truly moving on, is sometimes too much to bear. Especially when they start to realize that what you gave them was rare. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. Fear makes them reach out. They may mask it in nostalgia, in politeness, even in humor. But underneath is the realization that your story might no longer include them, and that is a future they're not ready to accept. But again, from a Stoic lens, we must recognize, their fear is not your concern. Fear is fleeting. It doesn't always lead to commitment. Someone afraid of losing you may not be willing to do the work to keep you. They want the comfort, not the growth. And unless their return is rooted in genuine self-awareness and change, it's just fear trying to take the driver's seat. You don't owe them reassurance. You owe yourself stability. This one is subtle, but dangerous. We all want to feel seen, heard, valued. But for some people, that need turns into dependency. And when they walk away from someone who validated them deeply, they begin to feel the void more than they anticipated. They miss the way you made them feel. Not because of who you are now, but because of how they felt in your presence. The attention, the affirmation, the reflection of worth you offered. And when that's gone, insecurity grows. They might start wondering, do I still matter? Would they still take me back? Am I still wanted? Their return becomes less about reconnection, and more about reassurance. They want to know they could come back, if they needed to. That you'd still be there, waiting, hurting, hoping. That kind of validation seeking is manipulative, even if it's not conscious. A Stoic understands this. Your worth is not up for debate. It does not rise or fall based on someone else's recognition. You are whole with or without them. Now comes the real test, not of their sincerity, but of your growth. When someone who once hurt you returns, your first instinct might be emotional: confusion, longing, anger, hope. But Stoicism teaches us, never act from impulse, act from clarity. So pause, breathe, reflect. Ask yourself, why are they returning now? What do they really want? Have they truly changed? Or are they simply uncomfortable? And most importantly, have I healed? If there's still a wound, protect it. If you feel calm, not cold, but calm, then you're ready to decide from strength, not scarcity. Don't let the past write your present. Don't let old chaos disturb your new peace. And don't confuse memory for meaning. The past can be beautiful in moments, but it must remain where it belongs, behind you. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care deeply, but wisely. When someone returns, you don't need to decide immediately. You don't need to open the door. But you also don't need to slam it shut. You can stand there, quietly, confidently, with your hand on the handle and your mind fully clear. You are allowed to ask for space, to take your time, to observe not their words, but their patterns. And if their return aligns with your peace, not just your past, then maybe a new chapter begins. Not a repeat. A new story. But if their return disrupts more than it restores, you know what to do. Your peace is not negotiable. Your growth is not reversible. And your value is not dependent on whether or not they finally see it. The return of someone who hurt you is not just a relational event. It's a spiritual checkpoint, a mirror moment, a chance to see who you've become. You're not the person who begged them to stay. You're not the version of you who cried in silence. You are wiser, stronger, softer in the right places, sharper in the ones that matter. And no matter what they do, whether they stay, leave again, or disappear into the fog, you stay grounded. Because that's what Stoicism teaches us, that we are not defined by what others do, but by how we choose to respond. So when they come back, meet them with stillness, with steadiness, with the kind of presence that says, I remember who I was, and I love who I've become. If this message spoke to you, please like this video, subscribe to Mindful Stoicism, and share it with someone who might need it today. And if someone once hurt you and returned, how did you respond? Tell us in the comments. Your story might be the very thing someone else needs to hear tonight. Stay grounded. Stay clear. Stay true.